I am terrible at predicting fights. This is no secret. I've made multiple videos trying to predict fights, and almost all of them go terribly, terribly wrong. So instead of me predicting fights like a schmuck, I've hired ChatGPT to predict fights for me, and we're going to see who does better, me or a literal robot with no feelings or emotions, who can correctly predict more fights. I've taken the top 3 fights on this week's fight card, which is UFC 309 Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic, and I've asked ChatGPT to predict a winner for all of these fights and a method of victory, and we're going to see who gets closer on each and every one of these fights. With that being said, we're going to start with the main event, Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic. Round 1. Jon Jones will come out more cautious in the first round, testing Miocic's reactions with his reach advantage and using his lateral movement to avoid Miocic's heavy punches. Jones will likely use his jab and kicks to keep Miocic at range, throwing oblique kicks and leg kicks to slow Stipe's forward pressure. Stipe will look to pressure Jones, trying to close the distance and land his trademark body shots and hooks. He'll aim to avoid Jon's reach and use his experience to make the fight dirty in the clinch when possible. Who wins the round? Jon Jones. While Stipe has some good moments, Jones' technical striking and ability to control the distance will likely win him the first round. He'll stay composed, avoid damage, and land more clean strikes. Round 2. Stipe will start to get a little more aggressive in the second round, likely pressing forward with more urgency. He may land a few clean shots. Stipe has underrated power in his hands, and he may start to find a rhythm with his boxing combinations. However, Jones' defense and his ability to mix in different techniques will keep Stipe from being too successful. Jones will likely look to mix in his wrestling in this round. With Stipe's striking advancing, Jon may go for a takedown attempt to ground the fight and neutralize Stipe's boxing. Jones has fantastic wrestling, and while Stipe is a former NCAA Division I wrestler, Jones' strength and technique will likely give him an edge if he goes for the takedown. Who wins the round? Jon Jones. Stipe will have his moments, but Jones will likely control the round with a mix of effective striking, movement, and possibly a takedown to close out the round. Round 3. Stipe could start to feel the pressure in round 3 as he realizes the difficulties of chasing down Jon Jones. Stipe might have some success early, but Jones' conditioning and ability to adapt will allow him to stay a step ahead. By the third round, Jones will likely have settled into his rhythm, staying elusive and using his range. Jones might even secure a takedown here to show Miocic that he's dangerous everywhere. Stipe's pressure and ability to land big punches will start to slow as the round goes on, with Jones controlling the distance and scoring points on the feet. Who wins the round? Jon Jones. He will likely continue to outpoint Stipe and mix in his wrestling. Stipe will remain dangerous, but Jones will be too fluid and dynamic to be outworked in the round. Round 4. By round 4, Stipe may start to tire, especially if Jones has been using his wrestling and landing strikes from the outside. Stipe is incredibly durable, but he's also 41 years old, and the speed, volume, and technical diversity of Jones may start to wear on him. Jon Jones may increase the pace in round 4, looking to finish the fight. Jones will likely continue to outclass Stipe on the feet, mixing in elbows and kicks, and possibly going for more takedowns. With Stipe starting to fade, Jones will start to control the fight even more dominantly. Who wins the round? Jon Jones. The pace will begin to shift in Jones' favor, and Stipe may be showing signs of fatigue, which will give Jones more opportunities to capitalize. Round 5. Stipe is a warrior, and he'll likely fight to the very end, but by the 5th round, Jones will have firmly taken control of the fight. Stipe will continue to press forward and land a big shot, but he will have a harder time catching Jones, whose movement will remain on point. At this point, Jones will likely be looking to finish the fight or at least cruise to a dominant decision. If Jones sees Stipe is seriously fading, he may go for a submission, perhaps attempting a choke or working for ground and pound. It's possible Jones could end the fight here if Stipe is too tired to defend. Who wins the round? Jon Jones. He'll likely dominate the round with superior control and possibly even work for a finish. That means for ChatGPT's prediction, Jon Jones wins by unanimous decision, 50-45, 50-44, and 50-45. Jones will outpoint Miocic over 5 rounds, controlling the fight with his striking, footwork, and grappling. While Stipe is tough and dangerous, Jones' skill set and ability to dictate the pace will overwhelm Stipe in the later rounds. Now for the betting odds. In real life, Jon Jones currently sits at around a -650 favorite, and Stipe is a +450 underdog. According to ChatGPT, Jon Jones should be anywhere from a -350 to -400 favorite, while Stipe should be a +275 to +320 underdog. So ChatGPT thinks the odds should be a little closer than they are, but they still have Jon Jones as a heavy favorite. For the next fight, I decided to go with the co-main event for this weekend, Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler 2. After reminding ChatGPT that yes, Charles Oliveira did fight Arman Tsarukyan at UFC 300, I asked it to predict a 5-round lightweight fight between the two, telling me who wins each round, and giving me a winner and betting odds as well. Here is what ChatGPT had to say about that. Round 1. Michael Chandler will come out aggressive as he always does, looking to pressure Oliveira with fast, powerful strikes. Chandler will likely throw heavy punches early, aiming to close the distance and land his signature right hand. Oliveira, known for his calm under pressure, will use his footwork and head movement to avoid the worst of Chandler's attacks, but he will take some shots. Oliveira might use his jab and leg kicks to create distance, but Chandler's pace will likely force him to fight at faster tempo than he's used to. Chandler will likely have the edge in the stand-up in this round due to his explosiveness and power, and he will also likely land the more damaging strikes. Oliveira will try to stay defensive and avoid a firefight while looking for his opening to engage in the grappling exchanges. Who wins this round? Michael Chandler. Chandler will likely win the first round due to his aggression, heavy strikes, and pressure. Round 2. As the second round begins, Chandler may start to slow down after his explosive early pace. Oliveira, being the more technical fighter, will likely take advantage of Chandler's fatigue and start to implement his game. Oliveira might land some sharp jabs and a few kicks to the body, slowly breaking Chandler down. Oliveira's best chance to gain control will come in the second round. If Chandler starts to tire or overextends, Oliveira could shoot for a takedown or use his clinch game to drag Chandler to the ground. From there, Oliveira's superior jiu-jitsu will become a huge factor. He could start looking for submissions or control Chandler on the ground. If Chandler can stop Oliveira's grappling attempts and avoid getting taken down, he still has knockout power, but he'll likely be forced to defend more than he's used to in this round. Who wins this round? Charles Oliveira. Oliveira will take control by using his technical striking and likely secure a takedown to work from top position or potentially attempt a submission. Round 3. If Oliveira successfully imposes his grappling in the second round, he will likely enter the third with even more confidence. Oliveira will likely keep the pressure on Chandler by landing more strikes and working his submission attempts. Chandler's cardio is decent, but Oliveira's relentless pace, combined with his jiu-jitsu, will start to wear him down. Oliveira will still be cautious about Chandler's power, but as the fight goes on, he'll continue to feel more comfortable in exchanges. Chandler will likely be trying to land a big shot, but with each passing minute, Oliveira's striking defense and ability to avoid damage will frustrate him. Chandler may have a few moments where he lands a hard shot, but Oliveira's ability to recover and flow with the fight will give him the edge. If Oliveira gets Chandler to the ground in this round, it could be very bad for Chandler. Oliveira could either submit him or secure a dominant position on top, earning significant control time. Who wins this round? Charles Oliveira. Oliveira will continue to outpace Chandler, mixing in his striking and grappling. If he can get Chandler to the ground, he may even look for a submission finish in this round. Round 4. By the fourth round, Chandler will likely be showing significant signs of fatigue from the pace and grappling exchanges. Oliveira, on the other hand, will likely be getting stronger as the fight goes on. Chandler's hope will still be to land a clean knockout punch, but at this point in the fight, Oliveira will be in control. He might land a few hard shots early in the round to keep Chandler at bay, but will then likely move into his grappling. Chandler's defense might start to break down as Oliveira pressures him, especially if Chandler is still dealing with the effects of the earlier grappling exchanges. If Oliveira gets the fight to the ground again, Chandler may be in danger of being submitted, and Oliveira might find an opening for a submission finish. Who wins the round? Charles Oliveira. Oliveira will likely have the momentum going into the championship rounds, controlling the action both on the feet and on the ground. Round 5. If the fight reaches the 5th round, Oliveira's confidence will be at its peak. Chandler may still have his power, but his ability to defend against Oliveira's offensive game will likely be compromised by now. Oliveira will likely push the pace and look for an opportunity to finish Chandler in the 5th round. Oliveira could very well secure a submission in this round, especially if Chandler is exhausted. His ability to capitalize on mistakes and lock in submissions from all positions is one of his greatest assets. If Chandler doesn't find a way to get back into the fight early in the round, Oliveira could secure a finish via submission. Perhaps a rear naked choke or guillotine if Chandler makes a mistake. Who wins the round? Charles Oliveira, likely by submission, rear naked choke or guillotine choke in the 5th round. So ChatGPT's official prediction is Charles Oliveira by 5th round submission. And the betting odds, according to ChatGPT, Charles Oliveira should be a -200 to -250 favorite, while Michael Chandler should be a +170 to +200 underdog. And the real life odds are actually very accurate. Charles Oliveira is currently a -250 favorite, while Michael Chandler is a +200 underdog. So ChatGPT has that one pretty much right on the money according to the real life odds. And the last fight we're going to do is the feature fight on the UFC 309 card, Bo Nickel versus Paul Craig. I had to remind ChatGPT that Bo Nickel fought Cody Brundage at UFC 300, and I had to remind ChatGPT that Paul Craig has in fact lost to Brendan Allen and Caio Borralho. But after that, ChatGPT was ready to give me its most accurate and up-to-date prediction possible for this fight. And here is how that went. Round 1. Bo Nickel starts strong, implementing his wrestling early. He takes the center of the cage, pressing forward and engaging with solid striking. Craig, although not known for his stand-up, tries to close the distance, but Nickel's speed and technique keeps him on the outside for the most part. About 3 minutes in, Nickel shoots for a clean double leg takedown, showcasing his wrestling pedigree. He lands in a dominant top position, using ground and pound to soften Craig up. Craig, known for his calm under pressure, remains active from the bottom, looking for sweeps or submissions, but Nickel's control is on another level. Craig attempts to use his long limbs to work submissions like triangle chokes or arm bars, but Nickel's defensive grappling proves to be solid. Winner of round 1, Bo Nickel, 10-9. Round 2. Paul Craig comes out more aggressive in the second round, knowing that he needs to create scrambles or find a way to catch Nickel in a submission. He lands more strikes, trying to land something to close the distance and bring the fight to the ground. Nickel looks to maintain his distance with his striking and then follows up with another strong takedown attempt. However, Craig starts to show signs of adaptability, slightly slowing Nickel's takedown attempts with some clever footwork and clinch control. Still, Nickel manages to secure another takedown with about 3 minutes left in the round, landing in top position. Bo Nickel works from the top, using his wrestling and ground and pound, but Craig is incredibly active from the bottom, looking for a triangle choke and attempting to set up submissions. Craig nearly locks in a triangle at the 3:30 mark, but Nickel's composure and wrestling defense allow him to escape and maintain top control. Winner of round 2, Bo Nickel, 10-9. Round 3. Craig is visibly fatigued by the third round, having expended a lot of energy trying to defend Nickel's takedown and control. Nickel, on the other hand, seems to be settling into a rhythm, confident in his wrestling and top control. Craig's striking becomes more wild as he tries to force the action, but Nickel's pressure and pace start to overwhelm him. Nickel secures another takedown early in the round, taking Craig to the ground once again, landing ground and pound. Craig attempts another submission from the bottom, but Nickel is simply too strong, well-conditioned, and composed to be caught in anything. With about 90 seconds left, Nickel postures up and lands a series of clean elbows and punches, forcing Craig to defend himself from the bottom. The referee steps in and stops the fight due to ground and pound. Craig is not intelligently defending himself. Bo Nickel wins by TKO to ground and pound in round 3. As for the betting odds, in real life, Bo Nickel currently sits at a minus 1,400 favorite, while Paul Craig is at a plus 830 underdog. According to ChatGPT, these odds should only be Bo Nickel minus 250 to Paul Craig plus 200. These odds reflect Nickel's wrestling advantage and overall control, but Craig's submission skills from his back give him a potential path to victory. The odds for Nickel are lower than a typical favorite due to Craig's jiu-jitsu prowess, but Craig would still need a very specific scenario to pull off a submission or reverse the momentum. So ChatGPT's official predictions are John Jones by unanimous decision 50-45, 50-45, and 50-44, Charles Oliveira by 5th round guillotine or rear naked choke, and Bo Nickel by round 3 TKO to ground and pound. We're going to see how these compare to my predictions and see just who is better at predicting fights, me or an actual robot with no human feelings or emotions. So I can't wait to probably get beaten by a robot, but we will see after this fight card. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I just recently hit 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate every single one of you very, very much. Channel memberships are now a thing. You don't have to. You don't really get anything, but if you want to support, it's only $2 a month. You'll get a shout out at the end of every single video if you are a member. But whether you're a member or not, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time.